Formula completă de vitamine și minerale. Vitamax. Sănătate și energie la maxim pentru toate vârstele. Vitamax.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But what was once beautiful may now be unfashionable. In the future, we will design our own features, and attractiveness will be available to all. Science and technology reveals what it is that makes us gorgeous. But is what we see what we get? Science Night, Tuesdays from 9 on Discovery.
Planes, trains and automobiles on Discovery Channel.
Most people, when they go up in the balloon for the first time, they say it was just like a beautiful floating sensation, like being on a magic carpet. The control for the balloon is very simple. If you want to go up, you put on the burner and warm up the air a bit more, and the hot air rises and up you go. If you want to come down, you burn a bit less and the air cools and the balloon descends. We can't steer, there's no rudders or anything like that. But you can choose your direction to a certain extent by finding the wind that's blowing in the direction you want to go. The most important advance really in ballooning technology is the introduction of computer-aided design systems, which are mainly used on the special shapes. I'm Paul Spellward and I'm a hot air balloonist.
Body Zone, weekends from 2:25 on Discovery.
It's possibly the most challenging and compelling quiz around. Mastermind. Weeknights at 6 on Discovery.
Mun nimi on Pekka Parviainen ja olen tähtikuvaaja. Intohimoni on kuvata kaikkia taivaan valo- ja väri-ilmiöitä. Revontulten tarina, se alkaa tällä meidän ikiomasta auringostamme, jossa räjähdyksen seurauksena niin auringosta sinkoutuu kaasua ja hiukkasia siis kohta avaruuteen, ja osa niistä osuu tietysti meidän maapalloonkin. Ja sieltä sitten 2-4 päivän reissun jälkeen ne tuolta napa-alueiden kautta tunkeutuvat tänne meidän ilmakehämme, virittävät siellä happia typpiatomeja, ja kun ne palaavat sitten normaalitilaansa, niin ne emitoivat valoa. Happi on vastuussa punaisesta ja vihreästä revontulesta, typpi sinisestä revontulesta. Yötaivaan alla, niin siellä tämä visuaalinen puoli häviää ja siellä äänimaailma tulee hallitsevaksi. Silloin jään jytkettä ja jään murtumista. Siellä kuuluu pöllöjen huhuilua tai kettujen rääkymistä tai supikoirien verisiä taisteluja. Tai sitten ihan tietysti saattaa kuulla tämmöisiä kovalla pakkasella, kuinka puu halkeaa.
Hey kids, broaden your horizons. Watch Discovery Channel. There you go.
I said second on the right. I could strangle him.
Sometimes I really wish I had a shotgun.
If you took one of them, would anyone really miss it?
It would be so much easier if she just disappeared.
We all have criminal impulses, but most of us don't act on them. Meet some of the few who have. Discovery Channel. Trouble is our business.
Pentru a combate durerea ai nevoie de un medicament eficient. Acesta este solpadein. Comprimatele efervescente de solpadein sunt absorbite cu ușurință și acționează foarte rapid. Medicamentul solpadein vă ajută să combateți durerile de cap, solpadein, durerile reumatice, solpadein, durerile de dinți, solpadein. Atunci când durerea atacă, trebuie să contraataci. Solpadein, puterea de a lovi durerea acolo unde apare.
În curând lumea va fi mai aproape de noi. În curând vom fi mai aproape unii de ceilalți. În curând vom putea vorbi orange.
The future's bright, the future's orange.
Formula completă de vitamine și minerale. Vitamax. Sănătate și energie la maxim pentru toate vârstele. Vitamax.
Deserve a raise. The Power Zone on Discovery Channel, weeknights at 12.
Spend an evening with some of the biggest, baddest, smallest, cheekiest, creepiest, wiliest, liveliest, scariest, grisliest, greenest, meanest, stickiest, spikiest, leggiest, cleverest, slowest, wettest, deadliest animals around. Have an extremely wild night with Discovery. Fridays from 9.
In hostile lands 65 million years ago, only one beast was feared by all. In this Discovery premiere, scientific fact challenges the reputation of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Forget everything you thought was true about the tyrant lizard king. Showing as part of Prehistoric World's Valley of the T-Rex. Sunday from 9 on Discovery.
What does being a dad mean in this ever-changing world? Playing football in the park? Being the breadwinner? Getting the meals? Are you the perfect dad? Exploring the father's role in the family unit, Discovery puts dads under scrutiny. from different cultures, from different generations, and from all walks of life. 21st Century Dad, Easter Monday from 10 on Discovery.
Se spune că iubirea înseamnă să împarți totul. Pentru că știu cum se îngrijește o pisică, nu o să-mi împart mâncarea cu ea. Sunt medic veterinar și știu că există ceva mult mai bun. Noul Whiskas Life Care asigură pisicilor până la de 3 ori mai multe vitamine și substanțe nutritive decât mâncarea noastră preparată în casă, pentru ca orice pisică să mănânce hrana pe care o iubește și să fie mai sănătoasă. Whiskas Life Care, pentru pisici sănătoase în fiecare zi.
Formula completă de vitamine și minerale. Vitamax. Sănătate și energie la maxim pentru toate vârstele. Vitamax.
At Discovery, we realize there are places that, for one reason or another, you can't get into, which is where we come in. We can open the door on a whole world of things you can't usually see. Discovery. Access all areas.
In the real Eve, the violent eruption of the ancient Toba volcano sent a plume of ash 40 kilometers high. To recreate this devastation, Discovery turned to effects supervisor Sebastian Dosti.
There's, well, no way to put a real camera just above a volcano and make that volcano explode. So we have to create the whole volcano from nothing. We will have to build particles, ashes, fireballs coming out. And that involves a lot of layers.
Layers that bring the past to life. To know who we are, we must first know from where we came. The real Eve. Coming soon on Discovery.
Discovery Channel is a ticket to the most exotic places on Earth. A guide through the deepest jungle. A journey to the remotest island. A rope to the top of the highest mountain. A safari through nature's mystery. A telescope on the furthest horizon. Travel the world with Discovery Channel.
Can your security software protect your whole business?
Sector 12 now secure.
Not just pieces? Ours can. eTrust Security Software from Computer Associates.
Deep in South America, on the border of Brazil and Argentina, lies the natural phenomenon Iguazu Falls. Wider than Niagara, higher than Victoria, Iguazu has nearly 300 separate cascading falls, many that plunge over cliffs 80 meters high. According to native folklore, the falls were formed thousands of years ago by the powerful snake god of River Iguazu. A princess of the Kenguanos Indians was to be sacrificed to him. But she and a young warrior were in love. Rather than be forced apart, the lovers fled down the river. Enraged, the snake god pursued them with such fury, he transformed the river into a series of gigantic falls. Helpless in the churning waters, the couple were swept over the edge. At the base, the snake god turned the princess into a palm tree and the warrior into a rock, separating the lovers for eternity. That is the legendary beginning of Iguazu Falls.
I think that whatever situation you're in, whether it be a riot, tornadoes, whatever you're photographing, you've got to try and get as close as you can. All you're really thinking about is trying to capture what's there. You're not really thinking about the fact that you might die or the fact you might get shot. That doesn't really enter your head. When we first started out on the project, we were lucky to get the guide that we got because she was so completely and utterly seduced by volcanoes. And I said, I want to get as close as I possibly can. She said, fine. It's the largest active volcano in the world. And we set up 60, 70 meters from where the actual vent went into the ocean, thinking it's probably about close enough. We shot about 10, 15 sheets of film, and then suddenly the whole thing blew out right in front of us. It was such an amazing sight just to watch these rocks and lava flying out with streams of smoke off them. Obviously we just wanted to capture every single bit of it on film. And when my assistant turned around to me and told me that his shoes were starting to melt, I thought, well, there's pointless running. If we're going to die, we're going to die. It was so unbelievably awe-inspiring, standing there being completely transfixed by the power of the whole thing. You just felt like a little ant on this planet. I'm very glad I did it. We were just lucky, I think, to get away with that.
Kids, broaden your horizons. Watch Discovery Channel. There you go.
Shortly on Discovery, an investigation into the Holy Grail, supposedly Christ's cup and the Last Supper. History's mysteries, that's more in a couple of minutes after a personal journey.
Each day, I rise at the first light and go to the mountains. It all started nearly 20 years ago. The government wanted us to plant trees to stop soil erosion. But we are a poor village. I said, let me sign the contract. I will plant the trees. The villagers said, she's nearly 50. What is she thinking of? At the beginning, I felt my limbs were falling apart. My hands were blistered. Now the trees have changed the environment, and the hares and birds have come back. We're up to our necks in debt. But I tell myself, some people have $1 million. I have 1 million trees.
Whatever your journey, keep walking.
Forensic detectives in an hour reports on the drug-dependent landlady who became a serial killer. First on Discovery, the Holy Grail, one of history's mysteries.
What does being a dad mean in this ever-changing world? Playing football in the park? Being the breadwinner? Getting the meals? Are you the perfect dad? Exploring the father's role in the family unit, Discovery puts dads under scrutiny from different cultures, from different generations, and from all walks of life. 21st Century Dad, Easter Monday from 10 on Discovery.
"74,000 years ago, when life hung in a fragile balance for the handful of human tribes that roamed the earth, a sleeping giant awoke, pushing our ancestors into the unknown.
Action!
Go behind the scenes with Discovery Channel filmmakers as they recreate the human race's struggle for survival in the real Eve. The violent eruption of the ancient Toba volcano sent a plume of ash 40 kilometers high. To reconstruct the volcano's deadly fury, Discovery film crews turned their precious footage over to effects supervisor Sébastien Dosti.
Il m'était assis de bonjour.
There's, well, no way to put a real camera just above a volcano and make that volcano explode. So we have to create the whole volcano from nothing. We have to build a matte painting, which is a computer-generated background. After that, we will have to build particles, ashes, fireballs coming out of the main center of the volcano. And that involves a lot of layers.
Layers that bring the past to life. To know who we are, we must first know from where we came. Journey back in time with Discovery Channel as we explore the real story of human migration. The real Eve. Coming soon on Discovery.
Hey kids, broaden your horizons. Watch Discovery Channel. There you go.
In hostile lands 65 million years ago, only one beast was feared by all. In this Discovery premiere, scientific fact challenges the reputation of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Forget everything you thought was true about the tyrant lizard king. Showing as part of Prehistoric World's Valley of the T-Rex. Sunday from 9 on Discovery.
It's possibly the most challenging and compelling quiz around. Mastermind, weeknights at 6 on Discovery.
They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But what was once beautiful may now be unfashionable. In the future, we will design our own features, and attractiveness will be available to all. Science and technology reveals what it is that makes us gorgeous. But is what we see what we get? Science Night, Tuesdays from 9 on Discovery.
The jobs. Some of the biggest heists in history. The men, gangland thieves and corrupt cops. The methodology, inside intelligence, and brilliant trickery. And the loot, antiquities, jewelry, and millions of banknotes. But did they get away with it? Find out in Daring Capers, part of History Night, Wednesdays from 9 on Discovery.
Spend an evening with some of the biggest, baddest, smallest, cheekiest, creepiest, wiliest, liveliest, scariest, grisliest, greenest, meanest, stickiest, spikiest, leggiest, cleverest, slowest, wettest, deadliest animals around. Have an extremely wild night with Discovery. Fridays from 9.
Did you know that after a hard day at the Colosseum, some hungry Romans would pop out for a takeaway hamburger? That nearly 1,000 years ago, Venetians were the first people to hang numbers on their front doors? That in the 1st century before Christ, the Italians invented the taxi return? In 1391, the Chinese were the first to make and use toilet paper. And that the Romans invented concrete, only for it to be forgotten and then reinvented 1,500 years later. We think we're so smart. How much of what we invent today has already been invented and forgotten in the past? Rediscover your history with Discovery Channel.
In hostile lands 65 million years ago, only one beast was feared by all. In this Discovery premiere, scientific fact challenges the reputation of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Forget everything you thought was true about the tyrant lizard king. Showing as part of Prehistoric World's Valley of the T-Rex. Sunday from 9 on Discovery.
What does being a dad mean in this ever-changing world? Playing football in the park? Being the breadwinner? Getting the meals? Are you the perfect dad? Exploring the father's role in the family unit, Discovery puts dads under scrutiny from different cultures, from different generations, and from all walks of life. 21st Century Dad, Easter Monday from 10 on Discovery.
Body Zone, tomorrow from 2:25 on Discovery.
The other night I was watching this programme about this woman who has a little baby. The baby becomes really ill, can't breathe, tightness of the throat, diarrhea, everything.
Och doktorn kom och började ta röntgen, blodprov, allting sånt här. Och de hittade ingenting.
Dus moest het wel gif zijn. Blijkt dat die moeder dat kind al die tijd heeft lopen vergiftigen. Met arsenicum. Dat is moeilijk op te sporen.
Dziecko zmarło. Ona poszła siedzieć. Dostała chyba ze 20 lat. Własna matka, wyobrażasz pan sobie? Na całe życie bym ją zamknął do windy. Jego własna matka.
Poi la cosa strana che succede è che questa signora, questa donna in prigione ha un altro bambino a cui tocca la stessa sorte.
Dezelfde symptomen.
Exactly the same symptoms as the first kid. Well, this is a bit suspicious.
Ja, självklart måste det vara arsenikförgiftning igen.
Gif?
Baba nie może być aż tak głupia.
Haalden ze er een heel team doktoren bij.
Quindi decidono di fare degli accertamenti migliori.
Ciśnienie, prześwietlenie.
X-rays, blood tests, the usual stuff.
Bleken die kinderen...
Båda grabbarna hade en malattia genetica.
They've only got a genetic disorder, these two babies.
Som ger exakt samma symptom som arsenik. która orzekła, że tu nie ma nic strucia.
Hon hade ju varit oskyldig hela tiden.
She's been put away for nothing.
Non c'ha parole tutto ciò.
Zoiets kan je toch niet verzinnen?
W życiu tak się zdarza, że prawda jest dziwniejsza od fikcji.
Deserve a raise. The Power Zone on Discovery Channel, weeknights at 12.
I said second on the right. I could strangle him.
Sometimes I really wish I had a shotgun.
If you took one of them, would anyone really miss it?
It would be so much easier if she just disappeared.
We all have criminal impulses, but most of us don't act on them. Meet some of the few who have. Discovery Channel. Trouble is our business.
In medical detectives later, the microorganisms in a murder victim's mouth that led to a killer. That's in an hour on Discovery. First, forensic detectives to kill again.
I've always been interested in how people think, how their minds, how their emotions work, and I've helped the police in psychologically profiling well over 100 different cases. Whatever you do leaves some trace of your psychological functioning behind. People do things in slightly different ways. The things that they do tend to be a consequence of their upbringing, of the genes that they bring into the world. Being involved in psychological profiling is a very lonely task to undertake, and you never entirely escape the suffering of the victim. In order to do the task, it is necessary to psychologically reconstruct what it is that happened, and that means understanding what it was the perpetrator got from the offence and what happened to the victim. And I think when you've been through that loop a few times, you can't ever entirely get away from it. There is always that residual sadness. I found it very important to keep a sense of perspective, to make sure my knowledge, my awareness of crime doesn't distort my thinking, so that I think the world is always a terrible place. It's just that some parts are very grubby. I've spent years examining and treating offenders, particularly people who are violent to others. And I suppose now I find it much easier to see people who are more likely to be chosen as victims than others. That discovery has made me so aware of how vulnerable it can be and how easy it is for a person who does not receive the right upbringing to become a deviant. That's the discovery. The thing that keeps you going, keeping people who would be victims safe. And when you see the trauma, the pain that victims of crime have suffered, how can you say no when someone comes and asks you to stop it happening again?
was at